Well, hey everybody, it's Cecile Goff here, and today I've invited a very special guest to share her story. It's Penny. I met Penny back in September when she joined the Quit Smoking Kickstarter challenge. That was near the end of September last year. Penny, it's hard to believe it's been that long.
I know.
And then Penny totally rocked the Quit Smoking Kickstarter. And right after that, she came and joined me in the Be Smoke Free formula. She's been an absolute rock star. It's had like an amazing impact in her life. Penny showed up, she did the work, she followed through, she stayed the course. I'm so friggin' proud of her, and I'm so glad that you could be here today, Penny.
Thank you.
So Penny, like, let's just start like right off the gate. Let's just go back to the beginning. Like, share with us, because your story is such like a before and after. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. So let's start at the very beginning. And folks, if you're watching this and you're having a tough time with smoking for all sorts of reasons, like, just stay tuned for the next bit and hear what Penny has to say, because I know there's a lot of people in this group that can relate to what she's saying. So Penny, let's take a look at where you were in the beginning. Okay, so like, how much did you smoke? How long had you been smoking?
I've been smoking approximately 45 years, and I was smoking almost 2 packs a day.
Yeah. Okay. That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
And had you tried to quit before, Penny?
1,000,001.
A million more times. I don't think we actually went through all this in the program. What had you tried before?
I tried cold turkey. I tried the patch. I tried smoking less.
Yeah. And did you find like was it like a merry-go-round where you'd like quit, go back, quit, go back smoking?
Yes.
Okay, so like what would happen that you'd quit and then go back to smoking? What was like your trigger that got you back at it?
It was a little bit of stress, boredom, and just wanting to do it because other people did it. I wanted to fit in.
Okay, so three main things you just mentioned there, and I hear this a lot from folks in the group and other people I work with to help them quit smoking. So you mentioned the boredom, which is a big one, not really knowing what to do, and you mentioned the sort of almost like peer pressure to fit in. And what was the other one that you mentioned, Penny?
Stress.
Stress, yeah, big one. Oh, right. And we were just talking about this before we hit the record button. You were saying,
Yeah.
like there's this, well, tell us what you were saying about, like, you have this thought in your head about smoking.
It's like being on a merry-go-round. I feel that the smoking calms me down. It relaxes me.
Right.
I
And
just,
then
I feel more relaxed when I smoke. And I know that's not true, but I do it anyways.
yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm sure there's folks watching who are going to really relate to that. And that's one thing you learned in the Be Smoke Free formula, that the opposite is true. And
Yeah.
that's actually like a limiting belief. We all have them, folks. It's natural, whether it's smoking and other things. It's normal to have limiting beliefs or stories that we tell ourselves about something, Same thing with food and smoking in terms of relaxing or giving you a lift or comfort. And the opposite is not true. And you learned this in the Be Smoke Free formula, Penny, because with the methods that I teach, the method that I use is based on a combination of like mindset and also retraining your brain, so actual neuroscience. And it's a real misconception. It's interesting, kind of wild that our brain would do that, but you get the feeling that smoking relaxes you, but what it's actually doing is the opposite. Nicotine is a stimulant. So in fact, it's not relaxing you. And what it's doing is you're getting a hit of dopamine in the reward center of your brain. And the dopamine is getting to all of this kind of stuff in the program. Or if you hang out in the Courage to Quit Smoking group, you'll hear me talking about this over and over too. The dopamine, it's like a neurotransmitter or a hormone. It's both of those things that makes you feel good in the moment. So Penny,
Mhm.
you're smoking like up to 2 packs a day. What are they, like 20 cigarettes in a pack or 25 or
Yes,
something? So
20.
in
Yep.
2 packs a day, you're looking at 40 hits of dopamine every time you smoke. So naturally, it's the dopamine that makes you feel good, not the cigarette.
Yeah.
So it's all about retraining the brain so that you light up that reward center and you get those hits of dopamine, but in a healthier way that's not sabotaging your health, right?
Right.
Yeah. And was
And
that a new
that can be
concept for
tricky.
you? Was that
Pardon?
was that a new concept for you to learn
Yes,
that?
it was. Yes.
Did it make sense to you?
Yes, it did.
Oh, hi, Darcy.
Yeah, she's back.
One thing I had so much fun working with Penny when we do our sessions. The 4 weeks she was in the bee smoke free formula, because she's a lot of great cats, and they often make cameo appearances in our sessions. Oh, hi,
Yeah.
Darcy. Yeah, I loved that working with you. Oh, she's so cute. I'm a cat lady too. Oh yeah, and Penny, your superhero name going through this was
Is the courageous cat lady.
Courageous Cat Lady. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So Penny, okay, so smoking 45 years, up to 2 packs a day, stress, boredom, and trying to fit in, the peer pressure kind of thing were like some of your biggest triggers. And then, over that time, like, how did you see smoking was starting to really take a toll on you?
I came down with COPD, and I just finally realized that the smoking was causing my heart to beat faster than what it should.
Oh, so I didn't realize it. So you were having increased heart rate too.
Yes, so they put me on medicine to slow it down, but didn't tell me why they were putting me on it. Well, I finally found out why. Will you stop on it?
What a little love bug. Okay,
So
I'm
I've
just
had
gonna just gonna cut in for
will
one
you
second. So
stop?
folks who are watching, you may not know, well, I'm a nurse, so just explain what COPD is. It's chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's what it stands for. And it's a debilitating lung condition that continues to worsen. And it's often a result of smoking. You can get COPD from other reasons, of course, but for a lot of people who smoke, especially, almost 2 packs for 45 years, it does take a toll on the body. People can end up with COPD or emphysema, which is another lung condition. And so Penny, with the COPD, and then as a result of the COPD, like you're saying, Penny, you end up with this heart issue of increased heart rate, which can be dangerous if it develops into further heart issues. So your body was telling you.
Yes.
And so what happened with the COPD, Penny? Like, did you have to go on medication? Did you find it made a difference in your daily life? Like, share with us what that was like for you.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. It was hard to do my housework, go walking, go grocery shopping. I had to get my kids to help me carry my groceries in because it got too much for me to do.
Mhm,
I was on 3 different medications for my breathing,
mhm.
which has been cut way down to occasionally having to use them now.
That's amazing.
Feels good
That's
because
amazing.
all of the medications I was on was bringing my heart rate up along with everything else.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. So it sounds like the COPD was like really limiting your life.
It was. It
And
really was.
was that something kind of gradual over time, Penny, or did it happen very quickly?
No, it was happening over time.
Over time.
Over
And then
time.
in terms of like how, thank you for sharing your story about how it impacted you physically and being on the medication and all that. Emotionally, with recognizing that the COPD was starting to really affect your life. And the doctor, I remember you sharing me with your story that the doctor told you it was a result of smoking, right?
Yes.
So then how did that hit you emotionally? Like what came up for you?
Well, at first it kind of didn't phase me. It
Right.
was I wanted to smoke and I was going to smoke whether anybody liked it or not. But then all of a sudden I got to thinking about it. I'd lost a lot of family members to smoking.
Oh,
My
okay.
mother died of COPD. Well, we now know that COPD doesn't kill you. It's what happens when you have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm I know I'm gonna die. I know we're all gonna die, but I don't want to push my luck.
Yeah.
I want to give myself a little extra time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a little extra time.
And time like well spent where you're not
Yes,
suffering and struggling. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So that was a big part of your why, wasn't it, Penny, in terms
Yes.
of why?
And it's a couple of years ago, my husband's uncle passed away
Mhm.
from lung cancer. And he smoked right up until just before he passed away. It was like 5 hours before he passed away. He still wanted a cigarette. So we gave him a pretend cigarette.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I said, well, that's the way I'm going to be. I'm going to be smoking right up until I die. And I realized you can't do that. That's not a way to go.
Mhm. Mhm. So like you had like sounds like a big wake up call.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some things happen overnight. Some things take time
Yeah.
to sink in. That took time to sink in.
Yeah.
And you helped me realize that without even knowing it.
Good. I'm really happy to hear that because, really understanding your why is huge. And it's one of the first things we dig into in the Be Smoke Free formula, folks. And what I mean by understanding your why is like, why did you start smoking in the first place? And why are you still smoking? Because they're usually two very different, where you start is not where you end up. You
Yeah,
start smoking for one reason, but why you continue to stay smoking is usually something entirely different. And until people really get the accountability and the support that they need, along with like learning, the right strategies to help retrain your brain and change your behaviors and your mindset, without that, what happens, and I've seen this over and over again as a former oncology nurse, I took care of a lot of people who were smokers and then died with various types of cancer related to it. There's like this denial, like you talked about, Penny. It's like Teflon, it doesn't stick. Like,
yeah.
find out that, you've got a terminal illness likely caused by your smoking, and yet still continuing to smoke.
Mhm.
It's like, why does that happen? There's a lot of factors to that, and that's we look at all of that when we start working together, but it starts with your why. That helps you really get to the place of making the full commitment. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Penny, let's see. So you tried a million and one times before to
Uh-huh.
quit. You tried a bunch of things. Um, let's talk about like the quitting. So you had tried a million and one times to quit before.
Yep.
Again, that's something I hear. Like usually by the time people find me, they've tried everything to quit, like
Uh-huh.
everything. And so, like, I help people not just quit smoking, I help people stay quit. I help people quit smoking for good. Because, as you know, Penny, anyone can quit. Everybody
Yes.
quit a whole whack of times. It's the staying quit.
Stay and quit. Yes.
That's the thing, right? So, like,
Right.
what was your, so you came into the Quit Smoking Kickstarter, which was a 7 day, for folks who don't know, it's a 7 day free Facebook challenge that I was running back in September 2020. And Penny, within the 5 days, you quit.
Yes.
You just quit and didn't look back. What
Nope.
was your big aha moment?
You got in my head.
Penny always tells me that I get in her
I,
head.
I'm I can't give you any other answers, but you got into my head. It was like you could see my every move. You could feel my thoughts, my feelings. And you were like, it's like that little dude sitting on your shoulder, the good guy, the bad guy, fighting back and forth. Well, the good guy finally won and got through to me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and folks, I promise I'm not actually in your head. Penny always tells me this, and it never fails to make me laugh. It always makes me laugh. We laugh a lot in the Be Smoke Free
Yes, we
formula,
do.
don't we, Penny?
Yes.
Yeah, I promise I'm not actually in your head. There's no mind control here. But this is what it is that you're retraining your brain and you're learning a whole new way of being.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Penny, how's it been for you managing the cravings and those kind of challenges that come up?
Well, at the beginning, I didn't really have any cravings.
Yes.
It's been the last few months that I've had the cravings, but it's mainly due to stress.
Yes.
So you've got to find a way to work through the stress. And I don't seem to be. Some days I do good, some days I don't. I'm not going to lie, quitting smoking is not easy, and it's not easy to stay quit, but you got to keep trying one day at a time.
Yeah. Yes. And keep applying what you learn. So one of the things we do in the Be Smoke Free formula is part of my method is something called the Freedom Framework. And there's a lot of different pieces to the Freedom Framework that people can learn and apply. You can pick and choose. So you customize it to you. And you can change that up as you go along. And the further you get out, so many months past quitting smoking, you can swap out the things that are working for you. And that's what, my happiest clients have found that to be the most helpful piece for them. So like you're noticing changes, like how long have you been quit smoking now?
Since October 6th. So
Yeah. So 4 months.
4 or 5 months, yeah.
Yeah, 4.5 months. And that's like, first I want to celebrate that because that's huge, Penny.
Yes.
And so you actually quit smoking in the first 5 days of the quit smoking Kickstarter. And then even though you had quit, you decided to roll on into the Be Smoke Free formula, which folks, the Be Smoke Free formula is a 30-day online program that combines one-to-one support, an exclusive Facebook community, and it's all about not just helping you quit smoking, it's helping you stay quit. And it's for people who are 100% committed to quitting today. It's not for dabblers, it's not for tire kickers. I just want to be fully transparent about that. I'm not a fairy godmother. I can't bop you over the head with a magic wand and make you want to quit smoking. This works if you work it.
Right.
But you have to be in a place of wanting to quit smoking, like 100%. Yes. Non-negotiable and open to learning a new way. Because Penny, like you said, like what you learned in the Be Smoke Free formula was unlike anything you'd ever tried to quit smoking before, right?
Oh, definitely, yes.
And what do you think about it made the biggest difference for you? Like, was it the Freedom Framework, the strategies? Was it the mindset? Was it the one-to-one support, the group? Like, what parts of it that really helped you?
I think it was all of it, especially talking to you.
Yeah.
Because you make sense of a lot of things. And we could be hearing things throughout life and it doesn't click until you put it into perspective. And then it hits home.
Yeah. It's like I always say.
Mindset a long time. And your mindset. And I still hear it this day, mindset for this, mindset for that. I never knew what it was until you taught that to me.
Mm-hmm. And your mindset totally, like it was a total turnaround for you. Totally.
It was, yeah.
We're going to get into that. And folks, like I tell people, like I'm kind of like a detective. When we work together one-on-one, I'm kind of a detective. I get in there and I see like what's really going on, like a mechanic underneath the hood of a car. What's really going on here underneath the hood of the car? What makes you tick? What's holding you back? What's causing you to self-sabotage and go ahead and drive to the store and buy that pack of smokes, even though you're like, damn it, I don't want to do that. What is it that is really perpetuating all that and keeping you stuck? And so, I am shining a spotlight on your blind spot. Because here's the thing, you can't see your blind spots. That's why they're called
Mm.
blind spots. And one of the things, like as a nurse, and even for me personally in my own recovery from a chronic illness, like one of the biggest lessons I had to learn is that, you know, if you want to transform your life, no one's an island. You can't do it alone. You need to
No.
ask for help and allow yourself to receive it. That's the first step in transformation.
Yes.
And Penny, like from what I know from talking to you, you are like a person who helps your friends and family. You're like a nurturer in your family. You're the one people
Yes.
can lean on, right?
Exactly.
You're the caretaker, right?
Yes.
So, like, had you ever allowed yourself to receive help like this before?
No.
Do you know
No,
why?
I didn't. No.
What made you, what was it that made you reach out and realize now you needed some help?
Well, there was two reasons. One was I wanted to quit smoking and I knew I needed help. And two, I was tired of people constantly harping at me about quitting smoking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you really got to get to a place where you draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It has to become a point where it's like a non-negotiable for you. You're like, I'm done. I'm just done.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Penny, like one of the things I loved about watching you, and like this is one of my favorite parts of what I do, is I get to witness people's transformations. I get to walk. It's such a privilege for me to be able to walk with you in your journey. I love it. It's so fun, and like it lights me up. And one of the things that I loved so much in watching you go through this over the last few months is the change in how you feel about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Want to share a little bit with us about that? Whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, I feel better about myself. Um, I hold myself up straighter.
Mhm,
I'm putting myself out there a little bit more,
mhm,
talking to strangers and asking for help if I need it now.
mhm, mhm.
I'm
Well,
learning it's not that bad.
how did you feel about yourself before?
I felt like I was just I didn't feel that great about myself. I felt like just I was to be used.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
That it was, my feelings didn't count. It was everybody else's.
Right. So putting yourself on the back burner.
Yes, I was always putting myself on the back burner. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Which then all of that leads to stress, which leads to all kinds of like self-sabotaging behaviors, whether
Yes.
it's smoking or overeating, or for some folks it might be gambling, or not taking care of themselves in all kinds of ways, not complying with medications. Like there's so many ways it can manifest, so many ways.
Yes.
And it can be one of those things that's really sneaky that you don't even realize, it kind of creeps up on you, and it's something, it's like you wear it's like wearing a sweater, so I call
Yeah.
it this like sweater of unworthiness that you wear every day, that you put on feeling like you're not good enough. Or, this is one of the things that really kind of gets my goat about when I hear people's stories about how many times they've tried to quit and how many things they've tried. I'm not here to throw shade on all the products that are out there to quit smoking. Um, the thing that I find really heartbreaking is that every time you quit it, and then you go back to smoking, and then you quit again, and then you go back to smoking, and it's like this never-ending vicious cycle. What happens is like it's not just about the cigarettes, and I think people don't always realize this because it sneaks in. But people really, like what I've seen with the folks I work with, is that it just like eats away at your confidence.
Yes, it does.
It's not just about like, oh, I can't quit smoking. Then people begin, it bleeds into their life in other ways. So they start thinking, I can't do this, like, I can't go for this new relationship. I can't go for this promotion at work because I'm not good enough and I'm going to just screw it up anyway.
Uh-huh.
Was,
Exactly.
was it like that for you, Penny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you-
you have to have the confidence and the courage to do it.
yeah. And
And I didn't. And I'm learning, but I still have, there's things in my life that I don't have the courage or the confidence to do, but I'm learning. And things work much better when you're happier.
yes.
If you're happy with your life and with things, it's much easier to quit smoking than if you're down in the dumps and you've got that in your head that I can't do this. Because that's what it usually comes down to. You have it in your head saying, I can't do it. So you're automatically not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. And when that stuff's in your head, what is it, Penny? It's a whole lot of bullshit.
Yes, it is. Because you can do it.
Yeah. And folks, like, if you're listening to this and it resonates with you and you're like, oh my God, I feel like it's my story that she's telling. Like, if that's you, then recognize that, like, it's not your fault, okay? Because it's completely natural for folks to have different beliefs in their head that simply aren't true. We all have them. What really is important is to learn how to recognize them, see how, like, get real on how it's impacting your life, and then turn it around. Turn it around. And I know in my personal experience and also my professional experience as a mentor and as a nurse, it's really tough to do that on your own because you don't know what you don't know. You can't see your own blind spots. And all those things that you're trying to use to quit smoking that's not working for you, whether, and again, I'm not here to throw shade, whether it's patches, pills, cold turkey, willpower, any of the things, if it's not working for you, chances are it's because there's some real, limiting beliefs that are holding you back that need to be addressed, that you need some help with.
Exactly.
Yeah. And none of those things come with a mindset component. You can chew gum all day long. That's not going to shift your attitude, how you feel about yourself and your belief in yourself to be able to do it. You can slap on as many patches as you want. No, that's not going to change anything. Or the
No.
same thing with the pills. You're just going to have side effects. The only side effect with the Be Smoke Free formula, I always say it's completely organic and
Yes.
natural, is that if you show up and you do the work and you let yourself learn a new way and you let yourself be helped, the side effects are a huge ripple effect in your life. What was the ripple effect in your life for you, Penny? So you gave up smoking.
I gave up smoking, which saved me money.
Saved you money. You cut back on your medication, big
Cut back
time.
on medication, which is saving me a lot of money there.
Yes. You feel better about yourself.
I feel better. I can breathe better. I have more energy. Um, Most of the time I feel happier that I've accomplished something,
Yeah.
and learning how to put it into other areas of your life. It just, everything just seems to fall into place.
Yeah.
You
It's
feel better. When you feel better about yourself, things fall into place.
yeah. Yeah. That's the number one thing I do is help people believe in themselves that they can do it. And then I show them how to do it.
Exactly.
But it starts with believing in yourself.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the other ways in your life. So that was the last thing you just said. How else are you applying this in your life?
Um, my weight loss, trying
Okay.
to lose this weight.
Mm-hmm.
I have done, not that I've lost a ton of weight, but in the process of quitting smoking before in my lifetime, I've always put on weight. The last time I quit, I put on 40 to 50 pounds.
Okay.
This time around, I gained maybe 10 pounds, but I've lost that plus a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's sweet to know that I don't have to compensate food for the cigarettes.
Yeah. There's no substitutions here, folks. It's not about substituting. No.
No, so and I know with a lot of people, that's the big thing. You're going
Huge.
to gain a ton of weight when you quit smoking.
Yeah.
because you replace one with the other.
Yeah.
And this program, you don't do that.
Mhm, mhm. Oh, Penny, I'm so friggin' proud of you. You just really rocked it. Penny, what else, like in terms of, okay, you had mentioned about, one of the triggers for you besides stress was like trying to fit in and dealing with people. And I know like you've got smokers in your family and like you get
Yeah.
together for family gatherings. So like what's changed for you? Like how are you able to like relate to them now in ways you couldn't before about smoking?
Um, well, for one instance, my son and daughter-in-law took us out to dinner, and I went the whole meal without even thinking about a cigarette.
Mhm.
After the meal, we sat there and we talked, and I didn't have to get up and run outside to have a cigarette. Or when we left, I didn't have to have that cigarette. It was so nice to sit and be able to talk to somebody without having to worry about where am I going to go? When am I going to go to have that cigarette? So, and people know that I am quitting smoking, and so they try really hard not to smoke around me.
Okay, so there you like it sounds like you're really like laying out your boundaries
Yes.
in a new way and just like not being shy or afraid to communicate that. Like you talked about standing taller. So like you just sounds like you're being really straight up, like this is what I'm doing. And it sounds like they're really showing up and supporting you.
Yes, they are. They
That's
are.
amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. So like these are the types of things, folks, that are, possible for you too. Like that's one of the things we really focus on in the Be Smoke Free formula, isn't it, Penny, about how to celebrate your wins to help you stay the course, like
Yes.
keep the momentum going, how to really communicate those boundaries. Because like I've worked with people that are closet smokers and, all the shame and the stuff that go and hiding it. So how to like talk about it so that people understand where you're at and they're not going to pressure you because you've set the boundary and you maintain it and people respect it because you
Right.
show up for yourself. And that just naturally commands respect. It's one of the things, and I bring that in from my own I have years of military training, and you teach people how to treat you. Like that's one of the things we learned in leadership
Right.
training, in army training, is how to communicate that. And it goes so much more than just the quitting smoking. That's something you can learn. Once you learn it, you can use it in any area of your life.
Yeah.
So Penny, do you find like in what ways have like the ripple effect, like now moving forward for you? Because it's really not like it's not. You'll hear me say this all the time. It's not about the smoking, right?
No.
It's about so much more.
Yes, it is.
And what is it about for you, Penny?
It's for me, it's taking control of my life.
Mhm.
That's the main thing. It's taking control of my life.
Mhm. That's huge.
Yeah, I can't let the cigarettes have control of my life. I can't, let food or other people. I've got to have that control.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is my life, and
Mhm.
I've got to control it.
Mhm.
Do what's best for me.
Yeah, you take your life back.
Yes.
Well, it's been such a turnaround in you. Like, it's been a joy to watch you move through this, Penny, because, like, once you made up your mind and committed, like, you were all in and you
Yeah.
did every exercise, you watched all the video trainings, you showed up to the weekly live Q&As, you offer support to other people, like, you showed up like a boss and it got extraordinary results.
Yeah. It
Extraordinary.
did. Yes.
So Penny, like getting into the program, because I want people to understand, like if you're watching this and you feel like, okay, well, she could do it, but there's no way I could do it, or there's no way I could afford to get help and invest in myself in that way. Like Penny, your situation, you know, like you tell us what you did. Like you asked for help, not just for me, but you asked for help.
Yeah, I had to ask for help. I got a hold of my brother-in-law and I asked him if he could help me
Mhm.
to do this. And he said, sure, that he had confidence that I could do it. And he loaned me the money to get into the program.
That's huge. That's
It
amazing.
wasn't easy, but I did.
Yes. See, yeah, because that's a lot of people hold themselves back because they don't want to ask for that help. So, especially when it comes to money, it can be really weird around money.
Yes.
So then when you asked him and he responded in that way telling you he had confidence in you, like, how did that feel for you?
That made me feel good.
Yeah.
There was actually somebody that did have the confidence in me to do it.
Yeah. I call those people the angel investors.
Yes.
And it's about like getting resourceful, because whenever you want something in your life, um, it's never about resources, it's about resourcefulness and how committed you are to leading a better life for yourself, to getting the help that you need,
Right.
to giving yourself that investment. Yeah. Yeah. So Penny, what would you say, like for anyone who's watching, who's struggling right now to quit smoking, like what would you tell them?
I tell them to have the confidence in themselves that they can do it.
Mhm.
If they slip up, don't let it bother them. Jump right back on the bandwagon. And if there's any way possible to join you,
Yeah.
because you can help them do it.
Yeah. Some fine words of wisdom from someone who's been on both sides of it, folks. Penny
Yeah.
right here has it's been a challenge. Like it wasn't all lollipops and unicorns for you. Like
Oh,
you stayed the course, but you bumped up against a lot of challenges along the way. And
yes, it is.
the thing is, all those challenges are an opportunity to practice the new skills you're putting in place.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And Penny, like, do you find, like, say if you just, bought a book or like a self-study program or something, where you didn't have like a supportive group and the one-to-one mentoring, do you feel it would have worked the same way for you?
No,
And why do
no,
you
no.
think that is?
The one-on-one
Yeah.
really helped. And having someone who believes in you really does a number for your head and your heart. It really helps.
Yeah. We all need help.
It's like in today's society with this pandemic going on, kids learning from home.
Mhm.
For an example, my grandchildren, yeah, they're somewhat learning
Mhm.
at home, but they do so much better in school with the teacher.
Mhm. Mhm.
They need that extra.
Mhm.
And I've noticed a lot of kids are out like that. They need that teacher.
Mhm. Mhm.
Doing it on your own, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Mhm.
I really recommend the teacher.
Yeah, the thing is, when you do it alone, for a lot of people, you just prolong your suffering and your struggle.
Yes,
And it actually ends up costing a whole lot more. It costs more in your medical bills. It costs more in your, time off work due to illness. It costs more because a lot of times people smoke, like especially if it's something social, then you're eating unhealthy food or drinking along with that. All of that costs money. Um, and the biggest thing it costs is like your health and your peace of mind,
yes,
like, so if you folks, anyone who's watching, if you're ready to quit and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to put my hand up, ask for help and allow myself to receive it, and you're 100% committed to quitting within the 30 days of the Be Smoke Free formula, feel free to reach out. If you see this on Facebook, send me a direct message through Facebook. Join my free Facebook group, The Courage to Quit Smoking, and or send me an email. And what we'll do is we'll just take a few minutes to chat online and see if it's a fit for you, because I want to make sure it's a fit for you and that I can actually help you with where you're at today. And then if it is, you can go ahead and get started this week. And in less than 30 days, be smoke free for good.
Yes.
It's that you don't, even if you're feeling afraid and you don't feel you have confidence, don't worry. We'll work on that in the program. That's like that's like step one, isn't it, Penny?
That's step one. Yes.
All you need today is two things. You need to have the complete 100% desire to quit smoking, not dabbling or like
No,
kicking, to
you
actually
gotta
quit.
want it. Yeah.
You gotta want it. And then the second thing is just a little bit of courage.
Yep.
Confidence and courage are two different things. Just a little bit of courage to take that leap of faith
Yes.
and put your hand up and accept the help that you're so worthy of, so worthy of it. Penny, I just want to thank you and give you a big old virtual hug from Canada to upstate New York,
Well,
and
thank you.
say I'm so proud of you. It's been my absolute honor to work with you. I've loved every minute of it. We're going to continue to have so much fun along the way. Your story is an inspiration to many.
I hope so.
Yeah. And I so
I have
appreciate
faith. I have the faith that you can help these people. That they want it, you will help them.
Yeah, 100%. And your story is so inspiring and motivating. I really appreciate you taking the time today to share it with us.
Thank you.
Okay, lots of love.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.